What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today marks the beginning of all Imperial Beer Theme Month here on the channel for the month of January 2025. So what that entails is every single day in the month of January, I will review a beer that is at least 8% alcohol by volume or higher. And today, being the first day, it happens to fall on a Wednesday, which of course means it's time for another Western New York Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today once again comes from the Big Ditch Brewing Company, and they are out of Buffalo, New York. And this is their Bourbon Barrel Aged Aqueduct, the rum variant. This is the 2023 vintage. So this is an Imperial Stout that is aged in rum barrels. It comes in at 10.5% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed. Time of review. This bottle is just over 13 months old. So it's the first day of all Imperial Beer Theme Month, and it falls on a Wednesday, which means it's Western New York Wednesday time, so I thought I would go back to Big Ditch and their Aqueduct series. Now, back in 2023, November of 2023 to be exact, they released a bunch of different variants and the base of this beer, so I ended up reviewing none from 2023 at all, so this is the first 2023 vintage of the Aqueduct series, and I thought I would review the most interesting one to me as far as being different and unique, and that is the rum barrel aged variant. So I just say it's Bourbon Barrel Aged Aqueduct, the rum variant, because if you look on Untapped, Instagram, their website, that's what they say. This isn't bourbon barrels, it's aged in rum barrels. I'm pretty sure it's not double barreled, like they don't age it in bourbon barrels and then put it in rum barrels, but I could be wrong. On the back here it says, Erie Canal aqueducts were designed to carry canal towpaths over adjacent rivers and roads. This version of our Imperial Stout was aged in a rum barrel to add a caramelized sugar finish to our rich and roasty stout. So yeah, I don't think it's double barreled, so it is what it is. Now, this has been in my cellar for the last year, just over 13 months. I'm hoping that we still get the rum barrel and everything, but yeah, I think it's a good way to kick off the All Imperial Beer Theme Month. So let's give it a pour here. Day one indeed. So I'm going to try to go a little bit more aggressive here to get a head if I can, and I think I've succeeded as I spilled beer everywhere. Whoa, I may have went a little bit too aggressive. Look at that gnarly head of it. It ended up pouring. Let me see, is there anything? Yeah, you know what, I do have one of these in my pocket just in case. I think we're good. All right, so that looks beautiful. Let me show you guys in the hashtag proper glassware, although this is the wrong side. That, because I poured it so aggressive, has a beautiful, luscious, almost two-finger, super creamy, dark brown, velvety, smooth-looking head. That is amazing. The base of the beer is more of a very dark brown, but in the glass it looks pitch black. But if I hold up the light, there's a little bit of like lighter brown hints here at the bottom. But if you look at it in the hashtag proper glassware, I would say this beer looks absolutely spectacular. No doubt. It's a beautiful looking beer. Wow. Like, I'm surprised at how good it looks. And I'm glad I poured it aggressive so I could get a bigger head out of it. Let's get a nose. Ooh, caramelized sugars for sure. Heavy on the brown sugar for me, and molasses. Caramel toffee. It has a nice, rich, decadent kind of roasted malt quality to it. Like a bittering cocoa, like a baker's chocolate, I would say. Maybe a very mild roasted coffee. And then there's dark fruits. This almost has that sweet cherry, but a little bit of like pruny plum thing going on. This is right out of my darker beer fridge at 54 degrees Fahrenheit, so it shouldn't be too cold. Even though I do see some condensation on the end, or on the sides. It is a very warm December day for here in Buffalo. I think it was like low, like 55, something like that today. Yeah, it just smells like a lot of caramelized sugars. It almost has, again, there's a little bit of, I was going to say something and I was like, all right, stop. It's like almost like a caramel or like toffee covered like dark fruit. Now, I'm not getting really any spices from the rum. Now, again, this is just over 13 months old. I don't know if the rum character has kind of fallen off a little bit. But in the nose, definitely no real rum. There's a generic booziness and kind of like vanilla oak kind of quality from the barrel. But yeah, the spirit itself is really not doing anything. It smells delicious, though. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. Wow. I'm saying wow not because of the flavor. The body and mouth on this beer, the body and mouth feel, I should say, hands down the best I've ever had from a Big Ditch beer. period. Period. Look at the glass lacing. That looks insane. Almost nitro-esque, like the lacing. Go back for another sip. Wow. Like, I cannot get over the body and mouthfeel. This is one of the best body mouthfeels I've had in a long time from something that is 10.5%. Now, I've had body mouthfeels that are akin to this that are 13, between like 12 and 15. Sure, all day long. 10.5, most impressive body I've had in a very long time. Body. It is thick. It is chewy. It's not syrupy, but it's almost like milkshake-esque in the mouth. Like, it's so like almost like I don't want to say eggnog because I've been drinking a little bit of eggnog. It just has that. It envelops the palate, it coats the palate, and it's just so thick. But then the body, being as awesome as it is, the mouthfeel says, hey, I'm over here, and it's fantastic as well. Very mild carbonation here. I would say mild to moderate carbonation, like smack dab in the middle, more to the mild side of things. So it does have a little bit of a spritziness and a little bit of carbonation there. But it is infinitely soft, smooth, and creamy. Like, this is luscious as far as the mouthfeel goes. I just want to drink this for the body and mouthfeel. I say that quite a few times when I review. Or I shouldn't say quite a few times. I've said that quite a few times over the years, where I just want to drink this for the body and mouthfeel. This 100%. The taste, really nice. It is exactly what they said. There's a lot of caramelized sugars. Now, they say, I think, a caramelized sugar finish, not as much for me. Up front, it's roasted, deeply roasted malt, baker's chocolate, lightly roasted coffee, all intertwining. I get that. But then the caramelized sugar hits. It's, for me, brown. It's more of like caramel toffee. There's some brown sugar, some molasses. It's sweeter kind of sugars. There's also this underlying, I'd say, more of like a prune, a plum, maybe even, again, that sweet dark cherry I was talking about. So it has, again, of that caramel toffee, caramelized sugar covered, fruity notes. But they're all intertwining and making just like one cohesive taste that is really nice. That's the first half, maybe first 2/3 of the palate. On the finish is where I get the rum barrel. Has a little bit of spice. I would imagine when this was fresh last year, like if I would have drank this in December of last year, I would think that, and by say last year, I mean, by the time you see this one, it's going to be January 1st. But I'm drinking this one a couple days, obviously, in advance, in late December. But let's just say if I drank this one in December of 2023, I think the rum barrel would be a little bit more prevalent with the spice character. I get a little bit of that. And then on the finish, vanilla, oak. This finishes with I'd say moderate or like semi-dry kind of finish from like what a perceived oak tannin would be. But the brown sugar and like the molasses and the caramelized sugar as a whole do kind of dive underneath the palate, hit me on the back. So that's probably the rum. This is sweet. It's rich, it's decadent, but it's not cloying. There is a mild bitterness on the finish, but that semi-dry finish kind of helps it along. But this isn't too sweet to begin with. Like, I'm not taking a sip and going, oh, this is just going to be crazy, cloying and whatnot. 10.5%. There's no fucking way. No warming in my chest right now. The only reason I know this is a bigger beer is obviously the body and mouthfeel, and then the flavors. You can tell it's barrel aged to some degree. And I would probably guess at least 8%, probably 9 to 10. But it hides it extremely well from like an actual perceived alcohol, like astringency or any kind of characteristic, whether it's on the palate, through the chest, into the stomach. It hides it extremely well. I'm not saying this is the best variant I've had of this because I don't necessarily think that's the case, but I don't know. I don't remember what I reviewed or gave ratings to with all the different aqueducts. This is the best body and mouthfeel. It's not even fucking close. This is like upper echelon mouthfeel and body for any beer out there. I just want to do another sip before. I'm between two ratings. You probably can guess which two ratings. I think as far as like the flavors go, really nice flavors, but they pale in comparison to what the body and mouthfeel is doing in terms of my enjoyment for this beer. Yeah, body and mouthfeel are spectacular. The beer itself, really good. I'm going to give the Bourbon Barrel Aged Aqueduct, the rum variant, the 2023 vintage from Big Ditch. I'll go high 4.25 and go 4.35. I was debating between a high 4.25 and a low 4.5. And I think the flavors aren't moving me enough to say, hey, that's got to be in the 4 or 5 range. I would say without the body mouthfeel, this would be like a high 4, low 4.25, so like say 4.1, 4.15. I got to knock this up almost a quarter point just because the body mouthfeel are absolutely spectacular, and it hides the alcohol well. But this is a fantastic variant. If you have these in your, and if you have a bottle of this in your cellar or in your fridge or anything, grab it, give it a go. I don't know how long this rum barrel is going to hold on because, again, I'm just getting hints of it. Seems like it's faded quite a bit, but this is a fantastic variant of Aqueduct for sure. All right, so price point availability. Most years, I think the last 3 years they released this. I think they've released this now in 2022, 2023, 2024. Most of the bottles are $16 a bottle. That's what I paid for this one back in November 2023 for $16 a bottle, less than $1 an ounce, all day, every day. And then availability, this is no longer available. This was released in November 2023 at the brewery. So if you didn't get any of these back then, you probably won't be able to try it unless you know somebody in Buffalo who bought extras of this. I don't think like Big Ditch has any like in their cellar or anything. I think it's just one of those beers where you had to buy it when it came out. Once it was gone, it was gone. I'm glad I bought a bottle of it. I wish I would have drank one fresh and then went to this one, age to see how it compares. I didn't do that. Like I said, the glass lacing is absolutely superb, which, a lot of people say it's a quality beer. For me, I just think if the glass lacing looks like that, it's cool. That's all that matters. One more sip before I shut this down. Yeah, I can't get over how rich and enveloping the body is. And then again, the mouthfeel just being as soft, smooth, and creamy as it is. It's just like, oh, it's a delicious beer. 4.35 out of 5. So I appreciate everybody stopping by for another review. Day one. I missed some over here. See, I know I'll have to wash this after I'm done here, but I'm glad everybody stopped by for, there's 2 reviews today. You'll see earlier in the day, the last holiday review for the 2024-2025 season. It should be Deschutes Jubal Ale early in the morning to celebrate, January 1st in the new year. And then this you'll see later on in the day. And this is officially the beginning of All Imperial Beer Theme Month. Had to do West New York Wednesday. I dove into my cellar and I grabbed a Big Ditch beer that I thought was pretty good. I have a couple other Western New York big beers that I'll be reviewing throughout the month. So I can't wait to get into those. And yeah, this is really damn good. I'm going to go drink the rest of this and enjoy my night. And hopefully everybody checks back next Wednesday for another Western New York Wednesday, and then checks back also tomorrow for day 2 of the All Imperial Beer Theme Month. Like I said, I don't like more often than not, I'll have an idea what I'm reviewing the next day. I'm just going to go pretty much just instinctively, like, what do I want to review today that's 8% or higher? That's what we're going to do. So I really don't have any set schedule. What beers I'm going to review, I'm just going to review. And that's how we're going to go. I take that back. I think there's a couple series of beers that I'm going to review on certain days. So we'll see with that. I'll mention that in those reviews. But outside of that, it's just going to be like, hey, spur of the moment, grab that beer, review it. Anyway, long review. As always, appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.